The Prophet ﷺ was a community builder. And we are in a time when community is threatened. We've never been in a time like this, really, in human history, as far as I can tell. We have, right now, in this country, a breakdown of communities on all the stratas of this society. We have children who are texting in their own home. They don't talk to their parents anymore. They're talking to their friends online. We've got predators online, preying in the homes. You never have anybody knock at your door and you go and you've never seen it before and you say, I'm a complete stranger, but I'd like to entertain your children for a few hours. Is that all right? And you go, oh, come on in. Yeah, here they are. I'll see you later. But every day, people turn on the television and let complete strangers entertain their children. And if you look at what they're entertaining them with, and then you wonder why, we've got little girls walking around with juicy on their bottoms. If you want to see the pornification of a culture, the degradation of a civilization, just look around. Look at what has happened to us as a species, as a people, because the human project right now is under serious threat. It is under serious threat. We have lawbreakers making the rules. We've got rulers breaking the laws. We've got banksters on Wall Street. We've got gangsters on Main Street. And we've got heads of football teams with charitable organizations that are used as fronts to molest children in showers at those same football stadiums. What's going on in this country? We've got 1 out of 5 women being raped in this country right now. This is their own statistics. This is what we're being told. What is happening? What's happening to us as a species, as a people? What's happening to us? We have to ask these questions. What kind of a society do we want our children to grow up in? What kind of a culture do we want to be part of? I want to be part of a culture that elevates people, that illuminates people, that gives them language to speak with power, like that beautiful spoken word that we heard earlier. Poets, a culture of meaning. This is what I want to have for my children and my children's children and the people around me. The other day I came into New York from Abu Dhabi on an airplane, and I was there, and I was waiting for somebody to pick me up, and people were coming off, and airports are amazing places, beautiful metaphors for life on earth. The comings and goings, separations and reunifications. People smiling with love. People with signs looking bored out of their gourd, wondering who's going to come around the corner. There were 2 little girls, and they were beautiful little girls. They couldn't have been more than 5 years old. They were Asian American, and they came around the corner, and I saw them immediately, and they saw their grandfather, and their eyes lit up. And they ran, and they just said, "Grandpa," and they hugged him. And then a few seconds later, the mother came, looking harried and disheveled. She came, and she gave her father a hug. And I actually told him, I said, "You're a lucky man," because they just, with so much love, they went up to their grandfather. And then the woman started frantically looking through her purse, and then a woman came up to her, and she said, "Did you lose this?" And she handed her an iPhone, and she said, "Oh, thank you." She said, "I found it in the bathroom, and I saw you leave, so I thought it might be yours." And then she turned to her father, and she said, "I lost my tickets at Starbucks, and somebody brought them to us. Now I lost my phone, and this person brought them to us. Thank God for the good people." And this little 5-year-old girl said, "Hooray for the good people. Hooray for the good people." I mean, really, that just floored me. This little girl recognizing goodness and saying, "Hooray. Hooray for the good people." We need the good people to wake up, because the bad people they're out there wreaking havoc on this planet. And the good people are either sitting by silently, shaking their heads, wondering what's going on, or they're fast asleep. And there's too many Muslims fast asleep. We have moral corruption. We have bankruptcy in our community. How can we speak the truth when we have some of the worst, most corrupt countries in the world? How can the Muslims call to good, forbid evil? Really, think about that. We need moral capital. We need to look ourselves in the mirror. And we should look in the mirror to change ourselves, to look at what needs fixing. Because we as a community, we are failing humanity. We were given an extraordinary task, and we are failing humanity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas." You were the best community. And that kuntum is in the past tense for a reason. Because it referred specifically to that first community. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. You were brought forth for all of humanity. Lin-nas. Ta'muruna bil-ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. You enjoin what is right. You forbid what is evil. And you believe in God. Any community that has these three qualities shares in that excellence of that first community. That's what we need to be doing as a community. فَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. Let there be amongst you a community that calls to good. That calls to good. يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. They enjoin what is right and they forbid what is evil. And these are the successful ones. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا وَاخْتَلَفُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتِ. And don't be like those people who went into sects and divisions and differed after these clear signs had come to them. وَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. These will have a painful chastisement. The only way this community can be united without the divisions is by recognizing the nature of humanity, which is to differ about things. Muslims have always differed. We incorporated difference into our religious ethos. We have different ways of viewing things. Each of our groups has their scholars. There are rightly guided groups, and then there are misguided groups. Unfortunately, there's differences about who those rightly guided groups are and who the misguided groups are. There's where the problem arises. But if you take a broad-based criterion, a generous criterion of our imams, who are well known in our community throughout history, we can unite as a community. America, the American Muslim community, the Canadian Muslim community, these can be beacons of light for other places. The fact that the Majlis Council of Scholars in this city is one of the most extraordinary accomplishments in the Muslim world. I'm not talking just about the United States of America. A group of imams from diverse backgrounds, different geographical locations, to come together, to work together. That's what can happen in this country. We have the potential to change the world that we're in. And there's no other reason to be in this world unless you're here to change it for the better. Because there's enough people out there changing it for the worse. And you need to choose your sides, choose your battles, but start the struggle. Because the struggles, if you don't go to the struggle will come to you. It's the nature of life on this planet. If you don't go to the struggle will go to you. But this is a long train, and it's been moving for a long time. Rosa Parks went to jail in this country so that these people could be sitting at this table together. That's right. That's right. Medgar Evers took a bullet in the back. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. These people, they sacrificed their lives for a different America. And there are many positive and good things about America today. It is undeniable some of the achievements that have occurred in our lifetimes. And we need to acknowledge that and recognize that. But there are other things that are deeply troubling. And if we don't look those things straight in the eye and deal with them as a community, recognize that we have allies in the greater community. We have good people that are standing by us, that are defending us. We have people on the left like Chris Hedges, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who's willing to speak the truth for the Muslim community on our behalf. And those people need to be recognized. We have people like Robert George, who's on the right, one of the most significant legal minds in the United States today, teaching at Princeton, defending the Muslim community. We need to recognize who our allies are. And those out there who are attacking this community, there are some of them who are simply ignorant. They need to be educated. There are others that are educated, but they have an agenda. You cannot blame the Jewish community, not all of the Jewish community, but a certain segment of the Jewish community in this country does not like the idea of a strong Islam in America. Because the Jewish community has worked very hard to be enfranchised in this country. Many of the Jewish community has a tribal allegiance to Israel, just like many of the people in this hall might have some tribal allegiances to places they came from too. That's human nature. That's human nature. So you have to be aware there are people that are deeply disturbed by the idea of a powerful, vibrant Muslim community that is going to engage the dominant community in new discourses. But there are people within the Jewish community that have stood by our community, defended our community, so it's important for us to distinguish friends from foes. Right? Friends from foes. Recognizing who our friends are, who our enemies are, and unfortunately we have amongst ourselves, amongst the Muslim community, what I would call frenemies. Right? We've got a lot of those shooting us in the foot as a community. Unfortunately. God bless you all. God bless Imam Siraj and his community. We owe them our support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.